let's shift our focus now, not only to how technology is changing trading, but a technology company itself, and it's Apple. Second quarter earnings are out at 4:30, and well, in the past few months, this stock has gone from universally loved to universally loathed. 14 analysts have reduced their estimates in the past 4 weeks. Shares are down nearly 30% this year. It's lost about $285 billion in market value since the September high. But behind every stock is a story, and Apple as a company is facing problems. Its iPhone has some serious competition. There haven't been any new IT products in years. So what has happened to Apple's bulletproof cool factor, and what needs to happen next for the once beloved tech giant to regain its mojo? Well, back with us, of course, is Matt and Colin and Eric. And Eric, let me throw that question out to you. I mean, what needs to happen for investors to get back into Apple?
Well, I think what frustrates me, and I own Apple, is that I don't get a sense of urgency from the company. And I don't expect them to share every detail, but you get a feeling that, we take a go-slow approach here. We're not going to be reactive. We don't mind if there are people like Spotify who go off and have success in the market in one little area.
What does that tell you, Eric,
Apple,
though?
We can come in later. And we can do well.
But
and
Eric,
I would like to see them go on the offensive.
Well, exactly right. But what does that tell you? That they're being too slow, they're being too cautious? What does that tell you?
Well, I think it's natural for any company that's been very successful for a long period of time for that sense of complacency to set in, and I think that's probably part of it. And they've been so successful; they have the cash cushion there. They are Apple. I mean, I think they are still a phenomenal company, but there's a sense that we can come in here later. We don't have to be the first mover here, and so I think they have big holes in areas like internet services. This is the company that brought you Mobile Me. Its iCloud still has problems. I would like to see them use that cash to get aggressive and buy some companies to move more strongly into those kinds of areas.
Eric makes a fantastic point, right? If you look at what Google is doing, they're constantly doing these small talent and technology acquisitions. Apple's got this gigantic cash hoard, and they're not deploying it, and they're not returning it to investors, right? Or at a significant enough pace, and that's a flaw. And we don't just want to see a dividend increase; we want to see them deploy that cash to find future areas of growth.
Right? Use it to build the business.
Yeah. Here's an example, right? There's the Pebble watch that's out there that connects to iOS devices, and it's we all know wearable computing is going to be one of the next big, markets, opportunities out there. And Pebble is arguably one of the leaders. They're shipping product. Why doesn't Apple go out and snatch that little tiny company up and roll it into the fold? I mean, if I were Google or Samsung, I would want to acquire these guys just to prevent Apple.
Cory, let me bring you in because I was listening to Bloomberg West yesterday, and there was a lot of talk about the watch that Apple may come out with, or the TV that Apple may come out with. And the analyst that Emily Chang was talking to last night on West was saying, look, the PC market is huge. The mobile phone market is even bigger, but the watch market and the TV market, it's unlikely, even if they grab 10% of share in the first couple of years, they're not going to make that much money. They're not going to sell that many units of these things. I mean, they already have maxed out the markets in which they can really be profitable.
Yeah, I think it's a very fair point, and I think that when you look at what they might do in these businesses, those are both businesses that are, the TV business went through sort of a once-in-a-lifetime change from CRT monitors to flat screens and HD happening essentially at the same time. You can see the difficulty the companies like Best Buy and H.H. Gregg and others have had trying to Circuit City. Remember Circuit City? That's gone. I mean, the TV business was successful for them once and not a second time. So Apple, noodled around with their Apple TV product. Steve Jobs called it a hobby and never seemed to go beyond that. The TV business might not be open for a new, giant, expensive product that is a little bit different than what people already have at home, and not a lot different. The iPhone and the iPad were dramatically different. And let's be fair. I mean, those businesses are still growing, and those are gigantic, massively profitable businesses that are still growing. We'll see what the numbers are like when we find out about it today, but the expectations got real high there.
Let me just play for you guys a soundbite or a comment from Nolan Bushnell, who was actually the first and only person to have been able to hire Steve Jobs when he started Atari, the video game maker. And this is what he had to say about leadership and about Tim Cook.
I think he's got 18 months to show something that is innovative and that has a little bit of the wow factor. Clearly, if it's much further than that, I think there's going to be a lot of people giving up on it as Apple as an innovative company.
Colin, do you think he has 18 months?
I think that the clock is, well, let me take a step back, right? When Apple did a product refresh of all their major product lines in 2012, we all saw this big vacuum in 2013. We knew it was coming, but we said, you know what? They're doing it on purpose because they're going to roll out new product and it'll be all eyes on that new product, right? And instead, what we got in 2013 is nothing. Right? No dividend increase, no new products, nothing but silence. A couple of speaking at investment conferences where they promised, plenty of products that are going to wow us, right? So let's see some of these new products and see if that innovation is on track. And I would say that he's going to be judged this year on that performance.